Hi, this is Mark Staples with the Gallatin National Forest Avalanche Center. We're here at the site of a fatal avalanche accident that happened yesterday. We're up north of the Keg Springs Trailhead near Island Park and Carrot Canyon. We don't have all the details, but looking at the debris and kind of piecing things together, what we think happened was that, well, what we know is there was a group of 4. What we think happened was, one seems like they were parked down here, out of the way of the avalanche. Another was parked here. Another one was up on the slope, maybe stuck. And then the 4th had actually climbed up to the top and was coming down. When the avalanche broke, the one who was parked here, the snowmobile was pushed forward and buried right here. We just uncovered it. It looks like he was partially buried right here. And then it looks like the rider who was up on the slope a little distance was carried down and then buried right here. So now we're up at the crown face, the top part of this avalanche. The slope angle is about 37 to 38 degrees. It's east facing at about 8,100 feet. And what we're seeing is what we've seen in a lot of places. All down here deeper in the snowpack is the snow from like December and early January. That snow is really strong and solid, and back then we had good stability. The problem is right here. Through most of January and early February, it was totally dry. There was no snow, and that created this weak layer, a really sugary, granular, weak snow. We got a little bit of snow like February 8th, 9th, and then the big storm that really made the conditions great in terms of riding, put down all this snow here, about 2 inches of water in it, and that overloaded this weak layer, and that's what the avalanche broke on. In this situation, what really stood out, especially when we're up there looking down at the avalanche, was that the nature of this terrain is what we call a terrain trap. All that snow, as it came down, it just stopped as soon as it got here because there's such a sharp transition. There's also a little bit of a shallow gully going through this drainage. Maybe it's a creek bed, but the combination of the sharp transition and the shallow gully meant the debris stacked up really deeply. I believe the party said it only took like 5 minutes. It's hard to know for sure in the heat of the moment how long it took, but I think that's the challenge in a situation like this is the avalanche debris just stacks up so deep, it can be really hard to survive. Hi, this is Mark. After we visited the scene, I had the privilege of speaking with the parties involved in this avalanche, and I wanted to address a couple things that are a little bit different in the video than what actually happened. A, there were actually 2 people fully buried, and B, they weren't buried all that deeply, but because it was a terrain trap, even though they had avalanche airbags, they were both fully buried.